Welcome back to the show. Again, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephenightshow.com. You can also get our new merch. We have hoodies, sweatshirts, masks. Check it all out. All right, so Kirk Franklin's under fire a little bit. So him and his estranged son, Kirion, apparently they got into it recently. They've been estranged for at least a decade. And Kirion released audio of Kirk Franklin going in on him, cussing him out, calling him a bitch and skinny MFer. And, you know, of course, everyone was shocked because, again, this is Kirk Franklin. Well, Kirk Franklin did make a video apologize. He said, for many years, we have been in a toxic relationship with him as a family. We've tried for many years through counseling and therapy to rectify this private family matter. He went on to talk about different things with his son. And he asked for prayer, you know, for his family through this whole situation. Now, are you shocked to hear a gospel artist go in like that, dropping F-bombs and all that? Lynia?
Living in Nayyir, he want to go first. He want to go first.
Please let me get this one first, please. Listen, I hope I don't take you all's responses, but
you got to. I feel it, but go ahead.
You think so? Well, when I heard the recording, that's our language. Like that's nothing. It's nothing extreme to me or crazy. It really is a love language, but that's our language. I said, Kirk is real, you know. He's somebody in my family. You know what I mean? So that was just a real peek behind the star, and I just appreciated it. Of course, I'm not advocating physical abuse,
right?
Toxic mental abuse, and so on. But I think all of us can say that that's our language. We're very familiar with that, so it's not a big shock, you know, to me. And that's all I wanted to say on it. That's all.
Yeah. Lynia?
I stand with Kirk Franklin, and I put that on Instagram. I will say this, because the original story that ran was something along the lines of Kirk Franklin cussed out his child. No, Kirk Franklin got into an argument with a grown-ass man. That's what he did. He got into an argument.
32, yeah.
33 years old. He got into an argument with a grown man, and what I don't appreciate, us growing up, I ain't never thought about recording my parents when they were behind. I never thought what goes on in the house stays in the house. And these kids today, he ain't even no kid. These people today have an issue with clout chasing, because what you did was not only did you disrespect him, you wanted to embarrass him.
Yeah.
Wanted to do you, and if you really recorded it from the beginning, I guarantee you, Kurt ain't go from 0 to 100. Right. It went up to that. I guarantee you he ain't go from 0 to 100, because there's no way that and I know that he said F you to him. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't feel sorry for him, because then he tried to be like, oh, I don't want you guys to beat up on my dad. No, that's what you wanted, dog. That's what you wanted. Yeah. But Kirk turned into what everybody considers his alter ego Plies.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting that he only released that small clip. He didn't say the whole context of the conversation.
Hello.
Chike, what are your thoughts?
I mean, Kirk Franklin is you know, like Nayyir said, he's one of us. He's a regular. You know, I'm not a particular fan, but you know, this is the same brother that got caught out there with a porn addiction. I've heard snippets of him talking about materialistic stuff, you know, as it relates to his fame. He's a real man doing real things with real issues like everybody else. And no, I'm not surprised, to answer your question at all.
Yeah.
But I do have an issue, and this is why I wanted to talk about the cancel stuff. I am so sick of people having to tap dance after the fact to save their, I almost cuss, to save their behinds from the public, or to save their brands, to save their image, because they decided to act human.
Yep.
It bothers me. It really gets up underneath my skin.
Yeah. Well, overwhelmingly, he's getting support from people in the community.
Everybody.
So So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for him. And again, I can only imagine me going off my dad like that, and I wouldn't even be here.
You would be
You know what?
alive.
He lucky. He's lucky Kirk didn't roll over there and put some hands on that aim.
He lucky. What's his song? Stop. He's lucky he ain't gonna stop him now. I'm telling you, Stephen, Nayyir, Chike and I had this conversation, and we weren't even talking about Kirk Franklin. Ours is much more funnier, but we were so aggravated about this cancel culture because they talking about canceling Pepe Le Pew. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah.
Like, I know.
Right. No, you're right. You're right.
Crazy.
All right. So JLo and Alex Rodriguez, I guess they've been engaged for 2 years now. There are rumors over the weekend that they had broken up this past Friday. Well, TMZ reports that they are actually still together. They had a bad day on Friday, and they're working through counseling. We're supposed to be in negotiations for buying the New York Mets. And so it seemed like things were going well, but so Arod was actually leaving some restaurant, and he was asked, "Are you single?" And he said no. So I had a conversation with someone over the weekend. They said that JLo is a toxic person because anytime someone's always breaking up or being in a situation where you're always breaking up, that maybe they're the problem. Chike, what do you think about this?
Yup. Absolutely. Yup. How long have you ever known this lady to keep a fella in her life? Romantically.
Well, she was with Mark for a minute though.
Yeah, but that's the only man she had children with.
Yeah.
The children. It was because of the children.
What do you think, Nayyir?
That's an interesting thought. I don't know much about the other relationships though. Arod and Mark. And I know a little bit about Diddy
and Ben.
Yeah, Diddy and Ben. Diddy and Ben.
Jason, the dancer. And it goes on.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thought that Chike just posed. You would think that way. What's the problem? And then I thought about it when you said it. They've been engaged for 2 years. Why would people with so much money be engaged for so long?
Especially be as old as, I'm not saying they're old, but be, more seasoned.
Yeah, 2 years is pretty long to be engaged when you're rich. That's interesting. I don't know. It could be her, could be both of them, but it is an interesting thing.
Yeah. But they said that they're working on it through counseling. They had a bad day. My mom always said, "Where there's smoke, there's fire." What do you think about this?
I mean, they're both. Arod has always been known as a philanderer. And she is the Elizabeth Taylor of our time. I mean, to be honest, because of that, they're made for each other. And that's probably why they're working it out, because they are made for each other. So I don't know, and I really, really don't care.
Right. Rich people problems.
Rich people problems.
The rumor was that he was texting with this woman on the show Below Deck on Bravo. Some blonde. He was apparently that's his type. Who knows?
He wanted her to go below deck.
Right.
I have a Bruce Willis quote. Bruce Willis. This is when Bruce Willis and Demi Moore were together, and they were asking Bruce Willis about Demi Moore, and he said, for every guy that's with a beautiful woman, there's a guy who's sick of her beautiful ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wish them both the best. All right, so our last story, Anita Baker, legendary singer. She asked fans to stop streaming and buying her music. So while responding to a fan on Twitter, she said, "Hello, sweetheart. Thank you for sending me your love, but let's not advertise Spotify streaming, which is a publicly traded company with 50 million validation, but doesn't pay artists, creators what they're worth." She also went on to say that she has outlived her artist contracts, but she has yet to receive the masters that belongs to her. How bad does it get when an artist says, "Please stop buying my music"? Nayyir.
That's terrible. That's unfortunate. She was swept up in that era when contracts were not being being really understood and just people just signing away. You know, she's caught up in that era, but she would think, you know, unfortunately, she was a great over time. You would have thought her business would have evolved, and she would
30
have to
years.
people. Yeah, she would have to people looking into her paperwork and getting things right over the years gradually, so that when she does outlive, those masters get turned over. But man, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad when it gets like this.
Yeah. Chike?
So I am an avid Anita Baker fan. And one of the things that maybe people don't understand is Anita Baker has been in fight with her ex, Walter Bridgeforth, for a while over royalty rights and song rights to certain songs, because he was saying that he helped write some of her music. And so a lot of her music had been held up because it had been in litigation between the two. And I think now that that part has been settled, but I think that on her last contract, because sometimes what artists do is that they get their masters and then they use their masters and they take them to whatever new house that they go to as collateral, so they can still be in the recording game, to still, you know, be in a recording house. And I guess that contract has since been over. But Anita Baker has always been very meticulous about her publishing from the beginning, because she's always, you know, wrote her own music. And you know, I guess, you know, because she is the age that she is and she's retiring, she wants all that income to come to her. She's not performing anymore. This is the end for her. And she wants all her Skrilla. I get it and I understand. But to outright tell your fans who love your music to not purchase it and buy it, that's I mean, what are you doing, Nene? What are you doing to us? Like, we need it.
Yeah.
I know you need what you need, but we need you.
Right. Well, she retired back in 2017. She had a farewell concert in 2018. Lynia, what are your thoughts?
Anita Baker is a favorite of mine. And like, you know, unfortunately, our people have been, you know, subject to a lot of, you know, just underhandedness in the business, especially, you know, moons ago. People are learning now, but, you know, back then, it's funny because I just saw comedian Tony Baker post about her because he loves her and she blocked him. I know she has a habit of blocking people. She blocked Chike too. I know she has a habit of blocking people.
Oh yes, I love you, Nene, but you know, it's all good. I still love you.
It was so funny. I'm like, you blocking people, but these people love you. That's why they be reaching out to you.
Your fans.
Your fans, and they love you. And I hope that it works out for her. I'm like, let me listen to what I'm listening to now before she try to shut it down. I'm about to go on vacation, Steven. I'm trying to do something. And I need somebody to make it in my life.
Exactly.
I want to send this message out to Nene really quickly. You know, in history, the people that have acquired their masters, and please check me out on this, once they get their masters, they're not here for too much longer. They magically leave this earth. Check it out. Once you acquire your masters, you're no longer here. Look at Prince. Look at Michael. Just check it out.
Well, we're not wishing that on her, obviously, but I hope it all works out for her. I mean, someone of that status, you know, who we all grew up with in her music. My mom loved Anita Baker. Yeah. So we hope that it all works out for her, because I know she had some financial issues years ago, and that all contributes to it. You know what I mean? So, but that's a lesson to all artists, to make sure you have your paperwork in order so that you're getting what's due to you. You know what I mean? Right. Lynia, Nayyir, thank you so much for Hot Topics. When we come back, we have movie reviews. Right back after this.